Have you ever wondered why some older guys naturally attract younger women, while others seem to crash and burn despite having all the tools to succeed? If you've been there confused and frustrated, this one's for you. Let's dive into the habits that turn younger women off and what you can do to flip the script. But before we break it down, imagine this. You are at a social event. You've spotted her, a younger woman with a magnetic presence. She's laughing, radiant, and surrounded by energy. You are confident enough to strike up a conversation, and then it's like hitting a brick wall. The spark fizzles. She politely excuses herself. What happened? Here is the kicker. It's not because you are older. It's because of these common, easily fixable mistakes. Let's start with mistake number 1. Mistake 1. Idolizing her. Idolizing someone, particularly in romantic or social contexts, can be a subtle yet powerful barrier to forming meaningful connections. Let's rewind to a pivotal moment. When you approached her, was your mindset, "Wow, she's way out of my league"? If so, you might have unconsciously placed her on a pedestal, signaling an unequal dynamic. This is something younger women or anyone on the receiving end of such adoration can sense almost immediately. Take John's story as an example. At 46, this finance manager attended a networking mixer where he met a lively 27-year-old woman. Instantly captivated, John became overly agreeable, laughed excessively at her jokes, and avoided topics that might spark debate. Despite his best intentions, his behavior exuded insecurity. The result? She lost interest, despite his polite demeanor. So, what's the solution? Shift your perspective. Normalize the interaction. Treat her as you would any other person, with respect, but without undue reverence. The key is to view her as an equal, rather than an unattainable ideal. This subtle adjustment projects calm, grounded confidence, which is far more attractive than self-doubt masked by overcompensation. Confidence is magnetic, not because it's loud, but because it's authentic. By staying true to yourself and interacting naturally, you communicate that you are secure in your value. And that, more than any grand gesture or forced laugh, is what leaves a lasting impression. Mistake 2. Messing up the age question. Messing up the age question can turn a smooth conversation into an awkward moment if you are unprepared. Picture this. You are having a great chat, the conversation is flowing, and then she casually asks, "How old are you?" Suddenly, panic sets in. You freeze. What do you say? Take Tom's story as an example. A 52-year-old entrepreneur. He finds himself in this exact situation. Instead of responding confidently, he fumbles, nervously saying, "I am older than I look, I guess," before awkwardly changing the subject. The vibe shifts, and she picks up on his discomfort. The question itself isn't the issue, it's his unease that stands out. So, what could Tom have done differently? Own it. A playful response like, "Older than you, wiser than most," or a simple, confident, "I am 52," followed by a smile, instantly shifts the tone. This approach exudes self-assurance, showing you are comfortable with who you are. Confidence reframes your age as an asset, not a drawback. By embracing it, you project maturity, self-awareness, and a sense of humor, qualities that are universally appealing. Remember, how you answer isn't just about the words you choose. It's about the energy you bring. Stay relaxed, own your truth, and let the conversation continue to flow naturally. That's what leaves a lasting impression. Mistake 3. Leading with money. Leading with money is a common pitfall, especially for older men looking to impress. Flashy cars, extravagant dinners, and pricey gifts might catch someone's attention, but not the kind you are hoping for. True connection goes far deeper than material displays. Consider Mike's story. At 48, this successful lawyer meets Sarah, a 29-year-old photographer. Eager to impress, Mike highlights his vacation homes and surprises Sarah with a designer purse within a week of meeting. At first, she's flattered by his generosity. But as their interactions continue, Sarah starts to feel like a transaction rather than a valued person. Disheartened, she pulls away. What could Mike have done differently? The key is subtlety. Let your financial stability be a quiet backdrop rather than the main focus. Instead of leading with your wallet, showcase your personality, values, and shared interests. A strong connection is built on authenticity, not extravagance. Remember, the right woman will appreciate who you are, not just what you have. When you lead with your character, your humor, kindness, and confidence, you create a foundation for genuine interest and mutual respect. Money can complement a relationship, but it can't replace meaningful connection. So, skip the grand gestures and focus on building a bond that truly matters. Mistake 4. Acting like a mentor. Acting like a mentor may seem like a safe way to connect, but when it comes to romance, it's often a dead end. Offering advice and guidance in hopes of being indispensable might work in the workplace, but in relationships, it can blur the lines and undermine romantic potential. Take Eric's story, for instance. At 55, Eric is a professor who befriends Emily, a 30-year-old writer. He spends months reviewing her work, offering career tips, and being her go-to source of advice. What he doesn't do is flirt, compliment her, or create moments of romantic chemistry. When Eric finally confesses his feelings, Emily is blindsided. She'd only ever seen him as a mentor, not a romantic possibility. The lesson here is clear. If you are interested in someone, don't hide behind the role of a mentor. Instead, make your intentions clear from the start. Incorporate light teasing, meaningful compliments, and shared moments that spark genuine connection. These small but significant gestures establish you as a potential partner, not just a teacher or advisor. Romantic interest requires more than being helpful. It requires emotional and personal engagement. By balancing respect and admiration with playfulness and chemistry, you create a dynamic that's both intriguing and authentic. Remember, mentorship may build trust, but romance thrives on connection, attraction, and mutual interest. Mistake 5. Trying too hard to look young. Trying too hard to look young can often have the opposite effect, making you seem out of touch rather than relatable. T here is a fine line between staying youthful and overcompensating, and crossing that line can undermine your natural charm. Consider Steve's story. At 50, Steve is excited about his date with a 28-year-old and decides to revamp his style to impress her. He swaps his usual wardrobe for graphic tees and skinny jeans, hoping to seem trendy. He even throws in Gen Z slang like, "That's fire," during the conversation. Instead of impressing her, Steve comes across as trying too hard, which feels awkward and forced. The key takeaway: stay true to yourself. Embrace your age while keeping your style modern and polished. A tailored blazer, crisp shirt, or well-fitted jeans can look contemporary without trying to mimic trends meant for a younger crowd. Similarly, communicate naturally instead of forcing slang that doesn't align with your personality. Confidence is the ultimate attraction. When you are comfortable in your own skin and exude self-assuredness, you radiate authenticity. Remember, people are drawn to those who know their value, not those who try to fit into someone else's mold. Embrace your unique qualities and let your maturity, experience, and genuine personality shine. That's how you truly connect. Mistake 6. Overloading her with attention. Overloading someone with attention can be a fast track to pushing them away, especially in the early stages of getting to know each other. While younger women often appreciate genuine effort, T here is a fine line between being attentive and becoming overwhelming. Take Mark's story, for example. At 49, Mark meets Laura, a 26-year-old woman, and is immediately drawn to her. Eager to show his interest, he texts her good morning and good night every day and checks in multiple times throughout the day. At first, Laura finds his attentiveness sweet, but it doesn't take long for it to feel excessive. She starts to feel pressured and eventually pulls back. The lesson? Balance is everything. Showing interest is important, but confidence comes from knowing when to step back. Let her wonder about you. Give her the space to reach out and miss your presence. Overloading her with attention can unintentionally signal insecurity or desperation traits that are far from attractive. Instead, focus on quality over quantity. Send thoughtful messages, but don't dominate her time or conversations. Pay genuine compliments without overdoing it. Most importantly, trust in the connection you are building without needing constant validation. Confidence isn't about proving your worth, it's about knowing it and letting her discover it naturally. By maintaining a sense of balance and self-assurance, you create a dynamic that feels both exciting and respectful. Mistake 7. Neglecting personal growth. Neglecting personal growth can quietly erode the spark in any relationship. Some older men assume their age and past achievements are enough to sustain attraction, but younger women are often drawn to ambition, curiosity, and a zest for life qualities that transcend age. Take Greg's story, for instance. At 53, Greg begins dating Anna, a 31-year-old architect. During their time together, Greg frequently reminisces about his past successes, career highlights, youthful adventures, and accolades. But while Greg lives in the past, he shows little interest in learning new skills, pursuing passions, or setting future goals. Over time, Anna feels uninspired and begins to lose interest. The takeaway? Growth is a lifelong journey, and embracing it makes you more appealing. Stay curious and engaged with the world around you. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning a language, exploring a creative passion, or setting fresh career goals, your willingness to evolve demonstrates vitality and purpose. Personal growth isn't just about impressing someone, it's about living a fulfilling, dynamic life that naturally attracts others. By staying active, curious, and open to new experiences, you show that you are not just content with where you've been, but excited about where you are going. And that kind of forward momentum, it's magnetic at any age. Closing. There you have it. The 7 mistakes older men make with younger women. By avoiding these habits and embracing confidence, authenticity, and personal growth, you'll not only elevate your dating life, but also your self-worth. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.